Today we are drawing the bicycle in that old shop or house or whatever it is, and I decided to use a watercolor. I really like how the watercolor is running down with the water. Really cool to watch. It's like a magic when you watch this things going on, and the gravity makes all the thing happens. Look how cool it goes down. Oh, I love it. I'm not a watercolorist, but I do like to see this process. Really cool. Look at that. And the colors mixed together create the next color. Sometimes it's muddy when you don't know how to use. Sometimes it's even better than it was in the first place. And sometimes when it's too dark, don't forget that watercolor, when it gets dry, it's not so dark anymore. So don't worry to be too dark with watercolors. Also, you can use a paper towel and wipe it so it will be, you see, just like I'm doing. And also when I'm using this paper towel, it gives you some texture, which is kind of cool and gives you kind of extra dimension. You see, I'm showing you how just one touch and it gives you this texture, and also it's not so dark anymore, which is kind of cool. So after this you can do another layer of watercolor, make it darker if you wish, or change the color or something, so make some extra layers on top of that. So just play around, just see what happened. So I decided today to start with watercolor as a base. You don't have to follow exact forms. It's the reference picture is just a reference for you, just to kind of placement of the colors, mostly not colors but shades like darks and lights. So it's just for you as a guide how it might be, where things should be, might be, or whatever happens to be, because the most important thing is ink drawing in my tutorials. So the ink will be my characters in my sketches, but watercolor just makes a base for our future sketch, kind of gives some character, kind of gives some kind of preparation, but the most important is still ink. Again, we are looking for the darkness, the darkest places, and so then we don't have to use so much ink and make it so dark like it when I sometimes draw and put a lot of ink, it's a little bit too heavy, and when darkness is with watercolor then it's not so heavy, and also it has some kind of personality color wise. So we have a color darkness with the color, so it kind of gives a personality to this sketch. Like in this shade, it's not just a dark black shadow shade, but it's some kind of something's going on in there, which makes it more interesting. This is by the way my favorite way to sketch, to give a color first. And sometimes you don't even put colors which are on the reference picture, not at all. It might be kind of approximate places and approximate colors, not even close to the reference, to original, because it's all kind of experimental. It's not like following 100% as is on a picture. It's all experiments and figure out what we might have after we do that or that actions. So it's like a playing around. It's a sketch. It's really freehand media, which I love because you never know how it will end up with, and it's kind of cool thing to do. So you see, I starting with the ink now. Again, you see on the reference picture it might be absolutely different colors in that places where ink is, but still sometimes it might be exactly, so that makes it more interesting. Also, sometimes unexpected light places might give illusion of the light and reflection on my final sketch. So you see, I'm using ink, but some places are still white, and it shows, it looks like an reflection, which kind of cool. That's why I didn't cover all 100% with the watercolor. I'm trying to leave sometimes clean places untouchable without the watercolor, because it might give you some illusion of light and some kind of more air, more space, so it's not so clogged with the colors. So now I'm continuing with the ink only, and I will do till the very end. And this is, again, it's my favorite technique also because I can use parallel pen with this technique, and the reason is that parallel pen has ink which is not waterproof, and so if I would use parallel pen the first, and then I wouldn't be able to use watercolor on top. And so in this case I can do whatever I want with my ink, because I am not gonna put anything with water on top of the ink, so which is great. I can use my ink as I want. And I like parallel pen, and unfortunately they don't have waterproof ink for them, or I don't know about that. If I don't know about something, please write me comments if there are water soluble inks for parallel pen. But right now I'm just doing my way, which I figured out that I am doing watercolor first, and then on top I'm doing my parallel pen. And if I decide to add color afterwards, if I draw my sketch with a parallel pen first, then I would use Copic markers, and again they have to be alcohol based, because no waterproof, no water soluble markers, only alcohol based. So I'm continuing with my ink, and I'm feeling free to do whatever I need, even make it very thick, and without worry about anything else happened with my lines. As you see, parallel pen is really cool tool for the lines, because you can use it as you want. You can push it, you can screw it in your hand, you can do whatever, and the line will be different thickness, which gives our sketch a variety of the lines, and makes it more alive and more freehand, which is freehand, but it's not so robotic, or it's not so like a factory made or something. It's really freehand, which is the big value of the loose sketching. Now it's the time for some highlights, and I'm using for that my white gel pen. Sometimes it doesn't work as I wish, and sometimes it doesn't really work on top of the the ink. It works better on the watercolor places. So you see I'm trying out different pens, and here's the Posca marker. It works sometimes better, but sometimes it's not so thick as you want, so it's always surprises. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. So again, it's all up to experience or up to the tools you have, and just try out here and there. You see it's kind of not so thick as I would like to, and sometimes it's thick, so you never know. Again, I think the tools have loose way as well, just like I have loose way with my hand drawing. Same, it's like they live with their own life. But we just have to deal with them and try out what it can give us. Sometimes you have some benefits in terms of the how the image will look in the end. And I think we're done for today. Thanks for coming, and please subscribe and write me comments below. Bye bye.